Alright everybody, welcome to video 4 of Thinkorswim. On this video we're going to continue to get this bar set up here at the top. We want to get our charts in line. I'm going to go to a 5x5. Now this 5x5 is something that we deal with a lot. We want to be able to map out these pivot points. So for me, having the 5x5 is kind of natural. I really like to have it. You don't have to do the mapping on a 5x5. I've talked about before. You could use the 15, but we want to set one of these 5x5s up. So just like we did on the 15 in the daily, you go to the 5x5, you go to styles. In fact, let's go to chart settings. We'll click the gear icon. We run this across. I want more space in the front. So for this, we're going to go with a 30. I still want to keep my height and low scrunch, so I'm going to keep that in place. One thing I would recommend adding to your menu is this show price as percent, and you could add that to your menu on all of those. The reason for that is, especially on a daily chart, we want to be able to compare apples to apples if how much a market moved today, right? Like if for an example, if SPY moves $50, that's a pretty good size move for SPY, or the ES. But if the NASDAQ moved $50, it wouldn't mean as much, right? But if we say then the ES moved 2% today, and if we say the NASDAQ moved 2% today, then we can see that they're both moving about the same today. So one of the things that I like to do is change the borders, and the reason for this is it helps me see it better. I don't know. I don't have a way to really say it any better. We'll go dark colors. So I want to do black on the borders. And then I want to change my background just slightly lighter. We'll see how this looks. All right. Now you might not have really noticed a change there, but you will when we start to zoom in. Right there you can see that the wicks are no longer the color of the bars. The way it was before, the bar, if it was red, would have red wicks, and if it was green, it would have green wicks. I don't know, I just seem to see this better, especially if I change the colors around on my Thinkorswim. And speaking of changing the colors around on the Thinkorswim, if you go to Setup, we can go to Application Settings, and in here you have Look and Feel. I have done a lot of messing around in here. Thinkorswim has a problem if you make a custom one and then try to adjust the custom one. So be careful if you're going to do that. Notice that I'm on the old school Thinkorswim. I'm not on dark or light. I'm on old school Thinkorswim. You can adjust that though. You can see right here I have my own custom light version. And what we can do is we can say I want to make a new one, and then we can make it based on the old school Thinkorswim or based on dark or light or whichever. If we go to old school Thinkorswim, in here we can start changing things around. This is where, if you've seen my Thinkorswim and I happen to be showing some really strange colors that you don't see, this would be why. Right? Labels, let's put this into like a cyan color. Notice that now the tables, and this is what we're changing right here, is now a cyan color. Price up, price down, price update. I'm going to change that to an orange. These subtle changes don't really get noticed too much, but when you start getting into table backgrounds, then things really get to change. Right? This is kind of a user preference. It doesn't help you in any way in the way that your Thinkorswim works. It's just going to be how you want to change something. Now here's the deal: if you change things and you hit save and you've made some really radical updates to things, and then you decide, well, I'm going to go in and edit that. Every time I tried that a year ago, if I tried to go back in and You can see I'm on a custom old school TOS 1. If I come down here and I want to edit custom old school TOS 1, that used to normally break it. I don't know that it still will now. So if you're going to make any changes, I recommend doing it all at once. And that if it needs to be changed and make more changes, you're better off deleting it and opening a new one, right? So I'm going to try it real quick. We'll just see what happens, I guess. We'll go in and we'll change the static headers. It looks like they might have been able to fix things. That's awesome. It used to be if you went to do that, it would break. So, yay for us, huh? Okay. So now that we've got that done, let's talk about setting these charts up. I've adjusted the wick. You want to go into the gears, click appearance, and make the changes that you want to make. I really don't think it's for me to tell you what color to make your candles or whatever. It does matter if you get into coding, because you can tell code to make it the same color as a tick up or a tick down. Well, when you're changing your candle colors around, if you happen to make your uptick blue, when you write code saying make it the same color as uptick, it would make it blue, right? So Thinkorswim tries to unify things for you in that fashion. So this is pretty basic for me on the chart. I don't typically add a lot to my charts. I don't use a lot of indicators. I think most of you know that. There are indicators that we are going to be building a study group, a collection of. But we've got the 5-minute chart set up how I want it. And so now we're going to go to save style, OEC 5-minute for me. No patterns or study sets here. Leave that blank. And then we go up to the gear icon, configure buttons. I'm just going to take one of these existing buttons and turn it into the 5-minute save. So we've got a 5-minute, we've got a daily, we got a 15-minute. We need to add a weekly and a monthly, even if we don't want it on the bar. We want to add that. So let's go to favorites, customize list, add time frame. We're going to add, make sure we're on the daily. We want to add 10 years for a monthly chart. That'll be down at the bottom where it belongs. And this 3-year, I want to adjust that rather than make a new one. So we're going to edit the 3-year, make that a 5-year. So now we've got a daily, a weekly, and a monthly. While we're here, we know that we're going to be doing tick charts for the anchor signal. So let's go ahead and add time frame, intraday, tick. I guess we didn't need intraday. I'm going to just go to tick. We want 1 day, and I want 250. I'm going to keep that at the bottom. Add time frame, tick chart, 1 day, and we want 450 ticks. Add time frame, tick, 600. Add time frame, tick, 1000. Now that's not too bad. That should be a good start. If you have different tick numbers that you want to use, this would be the time to go ahead and do that. All we're doing here is saving these time frames so that when we back out of this, if we go up here to the clock, we can choose from the list the tick number that we want. It makes it very easy and very quick to be able to change our chart time frames. So now let's go up into the upper left corner here where it says flexible grid. We're going to be getting into this in the next video. I certainly don't want to start onto it right this minute. We just don't have time in this video. In the next video, we're going to work through this and set up our anchor signal chart and perhaps a couple of other useful flex grid products for you. Guys, I really appreciate your time. I'll see you at the next video.